Here are the top stories of the news. Nigeria to spend $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026. NDC releases schedule for primary elections, packs interest forms for presidential aspirants at 60 million naira. The foreign scene, Israeli drone strikes on highway linking Beirut, southern Lebanon kill 8 people, including 2 children. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Femi Ojo. President Bola Tinubu said Nigeria will spend about $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026. According to a statement by presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu made the remarks on Tuesday while leading Nigeria's government, diplomatic and business delegation to the African Forward Summit at the Kenyatta Convention Center in Nairobi. According to him, the debt to be repaid in the year is nearly half of the projected revenue. He called for deeper economic integration across Africa, stressing the need for policies that prioritize the continent's industrial growth and prosperity. Tinubu highlighted Nigeria's blue economy potential as a key driver of Africa's development, noting that it had long been underutilized due to insecurity and uncertainty. The Nigeria Democratic Congress (NDC) on Tuesday released a schedule for the conduct of its primary elections, with presidential hopefuls expected to pay 60 million naira to secure their nomination and expression of interest forms ahead of the 2027 general elections. NDC National Chairman Moses Cleopas disclosed this in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja. Cleopas announced that the sale of forms will commence from May 13 to May 18 as the basic step to its internal electoral process ahead of the next general elections. The NDC argued that its approved nomination fees remain among the lowest when compared with those charged by other major political parties in the country. Under the approved fee structure, aspirants for the state houses of assembly are expected to pay 2.5 million naira for both the expression of interest and nomination forms, while those for the House of Representatives will pay 6 million naira. In the Senate category, aspirants are to pay 8 million naira for both forms, while governorship hopefuls will pay 30 million naira. In the meantime, the African Democratic Congress has dismissed a viral video alleging that its national chairman, Senator David Mark, authorized the sale of nomination forms through a stakeholder. The party, in a statement issued on Tuesday by its National Publicity Secretary Bola Ahmed described the claim as false and unauthorized. The ADC said only official communication issued through the Office of the National Publicity Secretary should be regarded as authentic. According to the party, any message claiming to represent the position of the national chairman of the national or the national working committee outside official channels should be disregarded. The party explained that the sale of nomination forms for the offices of President, Governor, Senate, and House of Representatives is constitutionally vested in the office of the National Organizing Secretary. The African Democratic Congress in Yobe State has dismissed claims that loyalists of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar within the party has struck an alliance with the ruling All Progressives Congress. The party described the allegation as false and misleading, accusing one Muhammad Jawa of attempting to sow discord within the opposition party in the state. In a statement issued on Tuesday by the Yobe State chairman of the party, Umar Alaji, the ADC said the publication credited to Jawa did not represent the position of the party leadership. The party also questioned Jawa's political credibility and loyalty, alleging that his past activities had continued to generate concern among members. The party also accused him of maintaining close ties with the Obedient movement, which it claimed contributed to his defeat during the party's last state congress, where he contested for the position of state chairman. Still talking politics, a former Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, who is an All Progressive Congress Governorship aspirant in Nigeria State has promised a rebirth agenda if elected in the 2027 general election. Adelabu stated this on Tuesday in Ibadan when he declared his ambition to contest the governorship position in the state, pledging to reposition the state economy and ensure massive job creation. The erstwhile Minister of Power said the declaration marked the beginning of a movement to restore, rebuild, reposition, and reclaim the state for genuine progress, prosperity, and people-centered governance. Adelabu further stated that if given a chance, his agenda will focus on comprehensive social welfare, education, reform, health transformation, urban development, civil service reforms, and women's empowerment, among others.
Economic revival, massive job creation, and shared prosperity. We will build a productive economy that creates sustainable jobs, empowers entrepreneurship, and delivers prosperity to every household. We will establish Oyo State Economic Expansion Plan, create industrial and agro-processing hubs across all geopolitical zones, launch a 1 million jobs initiative, support startups and small businesses, promote youth innovation, digital outsourcing, and creative economy, expand public works and infrastructure projects. Number 2, modern security architecture and public safety. No society can prosper without peace and security. My administration will prioritize a modern, intelligence-driven, community-based security system that protects lives, property, and investment.
A resident of Osogbo, Aderanti Oluwapelumi, says he has been left terrified after police officers from the Zone 11 Division in Osogbo allegedly broke into his home without a warrant of arrest or means of identification. It should be recalled that a viral video capturing police officers jumping over the fence of a private building in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, sparked controversy and public concern over police conduct. Western Spring Television's Joseph Atewa spoke to the resident on our reports.
Video capturing police officers jumped. You would recall that a viral video capturing police officers jumping over the fence of a private building in Osogbo, Osun State, sparked controversy and public concern over police conduct, with many questioning the integrity of the Nigerian police. Days after the alleged invasion of his residence, Comrade Aderanti Oluwapelumi has spoken out on the incidents, describing the operation as traumatic and allegedly linked to a false petition filed against him. According to him, the incident occurred around 10 a.m. shortly after his helper stepped out when armed men arrived at his residence, banging on the gate and allegedly refusing to properly identify themselves. He alleged that some of the men later crossed over his fence while shouting, prompting him to record the incident and contacted the police PRO. He added that he later confirmed through Zone 11 that the men were police officers but did not identify themselves, which he believes is totally wrong and against the conduct of the Nigerian police.
I saw a black car and then a man putting on a white shirt and a jean with a rifle came down from the car, and then he was shouting at me, open that gate, open that gate. And as at the time that I came out, I was half naked. I was just only putting a very short boxers and a singlet. He kept on shouting, open the door, open the door. I said, okay, please, let me go and put on my dress. And I asked before I enter, who are you people? Like, just tell me your name, where you come from. None of them tell me who they are. And the way all of them were looking, like, I was so scared.
Reacting to the alleged incidents, the Zone 11 Police Command spokesperson, Ogunyemi Adeyemo, has explained through a statement that the suspect is on their wanted list over alleged impersonation and fraud, including claims that he posed as a lawyer and aide to Governor Demola Adeleke to defraud members of the public. He added that several petitions have been filed against the suspect over alleged obtaining of money under false pretenses, leading to his declaration as wanted by the police. Adeyemo said operatives visited the suspect residence after failed attempt to reach him. adding that initially came out but went back inside to change clothes, allegedly locked the gate and attempted to evade arrest, which led officers to scaling the fence to forcefully arrest him, which the constitution permits. Meanwhile, Comrade Ademoti Oluwapelumi has denied all the allegations, including impersonation, insisting he runs a legitimate company and urged the police to remain professional and cautious during operation to avoid possible casualties. He also says the statement released by the police are all lies.
To the best of my knowledge, what is being called impersonation is when you add yourself out officially. Even if it is not unofficial, at least you add yourself out as so person. They said, according to the statement released by the police themselves, that I am impersonating as the personal assistant to the governor. How?
According to the rules guarding the activity of the police officers are required to treat citizens with dignity, act without bias, and avoid all forms of corruption. This, a legal practitioner, Barrister Moses Obaditon, criticized the police, saying they did not conduct themselves well in trying to arrest Comrade Ademoti Oluwapelumi. The legal practitioner explained that under Nigerian law, police officers are required to identify themselves and strictly follow due process during operations, whether the matter is civil or criminal, stressing that all actions must be guided by valid warrants and established legal procedures. The lawyer further stated that even in criminal cases, officers must avoid unnecessary harm, stressing that any use of force must be controlled and proportionate and that proper identification is required during all police operations.
Where access to a house or a place cannot be obtained under subsection 1, just as we have read now, of this section, the person or police officer may enter the house or place and search it for the suspect to be arrested. You come to the gate of this building, and then you are looking for Mr. X and Y. And then you show your warrant of arrest. I'm police officer from station X. And despite that one did not allow you, then the law permits you to use any other means to find your way in. But you must have invited him, except maybe you are pursuing him. Maybe like armed robber is escaping and you suspect he had run to, and then you just show the people in the house because it's only armed robber. It's not only armed that's living in the house. Please, we are officer from so and so. We suspect somebody is in this house. If they now resist you, the law permits you to use any means to get into the house.
As we wait for the final decision from the police on the case, even as the police continues to investigate, calls for proper police conduct in Nigeria is on the lips of so many Nigerians following ugly incidents that has happened one too many times in the country. Joseph Atewe, Western Spring Television News.
Senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshomole, has defended his call for the nationalization of MTN and other South African companies operating in Nigeria, insisting that Nigeria lies a mistake precedent over foreign investment amid renewed xenophobic attacks in South Africa. Oshomole made the remarks during an interview on Arise News where he argued that Nigeria should take stronger economic action against South African interests in response to repeated attacks on Nigerians abroad. He added that, in his view, Nigeria should consider restructuring ownership of affected firms to ensure local control. The senator also referenced other foreign financial institutions operating in the country, insisting that similar action could apply to them. Oshomole links his position to what he described as persistent attacks on Nigerians in South Africa, arguing that economic pressure was necessary to force accountability. He also claimed that South African President Cyril Ramaphosa only publicly condemned attacks on foreigners after Nigeria applied diplomatic and economic pressure, though he did not provide the evidence for the claim. And elsewhere, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has rescued 15 persons, including foreign nationals, after uncovering a suspected human trafficking syndicate allegedly operating under the guise of an online marketing company in Nasarawa State. The rescue followed an operation by the agency in Ikefi and Karu local government areas based on credible intelligence about suspicious activities linked to fraudulent online marketing operations. NAPTIP disclosed these in a statement issued on Wednesday via its X handle. The study operation was conducted on May 7, 2026 by officers of its investigation department and Intelligence and International Cooperation Unit. NAPTIP described the development as a serious security and a humanitarian concern, citing the deceptive recruitment methods allegedly used by the traffickers and the vulnerability of victims to exploitation. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We will be right back after this break. Stay with us.